Good morning. There she is.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Back at it again. Let's work out.
Can't stop, won't stop.
There you go. All right. Good morning, everyone. We are going to get started. As always, it is a total body workout. Lindsey's really sore, so let's just talk about that. Oh, wait. Oh, the connection.
Sorry, that was me. I accidentally pushed something.
Okay, so Lindsey says she's really sore. She's been obviously doing these at-home workouts. So, if that's the same for you guys, you can always pair some sort of stretch or mobility exercise with it, and we'll just go over that as we go through it. But today are you gonna start off with your band stuff?
I still love bands. They always activate the glutes and everything in the hip. It warms everything up for me, even though it could be super uncomfortable. I just like the fact that when I'm finished with it, I get that little burn, and I know everything's like waking up. So even though I'm tired and stiff, I can do something knowing that I'm not going to injure myself with the bands while getting a warm up. So going back to the bands, love them, hate them, you decide, but I love them.
So same ones, lateral
Yeah,
stuff
lateral and reverse.
Okay, so if you guys have been watching this with us, the same band warm-up we're going to be doing again. It's really important to warm up. We want to lubricate those joints, get those muscle tissues warmed up. I actually was reading a study that talked about how increasing your internal temperature is one of the most important parts of warming up, and that yeah, it's important. Get that body temperature warmed up, sit in your car with the heater on, get in some jumping jacks. You want to actually be breaking a light sweat when you start exercising. That would be ideal according to science. So that's what Lindsey's doing. She's warming up. And we're going to start with the legs first. I'm going to put on some music.
Reversed.
So reverse skaters, you're getting a slight hinge in your hips, slight bend in the knees, and you're using your glutes to step backwards, really focusing on that muscle contraction. And you're keeping a neutral spine, so you can tell if I put a stick across Lindsey's back, the back of her head between her shoulder blades and her butt would be touching, and that's the position that you want to maintain.
And I feel it in both legs. There's activation a lot in my stagnant leg, but also in the leg that's moving. So it's definitely working both sides at the same time.
So yeah, same thing on the other leg. And we're going to go for 2 to 3 rounds of that.
Whew. Oh yeah, you can already start to feel everything warming up. It's good stuff. Great stuff.
Great.
Whew. 15 more seconds and we'll start from the beginning. Susie, hi. I'm so glad you're joining again. We just did band lateral and reverse scares. We still have 2 more sets of this. We'll warm up and then we'll get into the fun stuff. But it does get easier as the workout progresses. We're doing our more taxing, more strenuous things in the beginning and petering out. So it helps you stay focused.
Someone said, Lindsey, can we have a show on eating junk food? Haha.
My food challenge days, I believe, are over.
Yeah, I like the idea.
You guys watched the challenge and having me to do the eating challenge, that was probably the most uncomfortable, competitive thing I had to do.
Wait, what did you do? You ate what?
I ate a heart, a pig heart.
Oh.
A huge bowl of mashed potatoes, like Thanksgiving serving size. Like 3 massive chocolate brownies.
What? When?
God, this was like 3, almost 4 years ago. I can't remember. Time goes by. It was when I did the pros, champs versus pros on the challenge. And yeah, you had to like complete all the tables and then grab the ball and shoot to get the points from that table.
Oh my God.
It was gnarly.
Did you do it? Did you eat all the mashed potatoes and the heart and everything?
I did, but I had to strategically like break it into my mouth, show that I didn't have anything in my mouth, then like purge myself, and then keep going because there's no way to have everything fit. It was awful. So,
oh my God.
Any sort of show with eating, I just don't know if that's for me.
That's really funny. Have you heard of those? They're like epic cheat days, and people will just like go in and just eat like 10,000 calories in a day.
Oh my God, I think I'd vomit in there and never want to eat whatever I just ate ever again.
Yeah. Like, I like the idea of that. It just sounds like, I don't know, interesting, fun, different, I guess. But then I think about, even if I ate like a bunch of sugar, I would instantly feel bad about it. Like 30 minutes later, I would have a stomach ache. That would be it for me. Like,
I'd mentally feel bad. I'd be like, oh my God, all this workout that I've been doing,
yeah.
and I'm back to square one. So, note to self, if you have just one chocolate chip cookie, you're not going to feel bad.
Yeah, moderation. I feel like that's honestly the hardest part to learn. Like, if I have a box of cookies at my house, it's so hard to just eat like 1 or 2. So I told myself, if you're going to eat something that's quote unquote bad or like not clean, then just get 1 serving of it. So that way it's just not sitting in your house. I feel like that's the best way. Like, eat 1 serving of it, be done.
That's true, but it's great to also challenge yourself because sometimes when you live in a bigger family and you have to have more things.
Yeah, you don't have the option. Yeah.
You might not have that option, so it's good to be disciplining yourself and just say like, nope, what else can I eat that's better in this moment?
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do, but it's really good. All right, we just finished that. We're starting back at the top, lateral bands. Last round of the warm-up set.
Round 3. So if you're just jumping in and joining us, you should have your bands on. We are doing side lateral steps and then backward skaters. It's the same warm-up that we do pretty much every time here because we are going to be starting with the legs anyways.
Woo-hoo! Yikes. I love them. It always warms up the hiney. I did do so many of these when I was coming off of my knee surgery. That's all you did was glute stability.
And it was ACL surgery or?
Yeah. I did band workouts like they were going out of style.
Yeah. I think people don't realize, like, even in physical therapy, you use the bands a lot. They're really good.
They are. Has a very, very wide range.
Yeah.
For resistance, but also just the lightest resistance and learning control, learning the actual movement pattern that your muscles are doing. and controlling it and knowing when you're having even a slight bit of difficulty during a small portion of your range helps neurologically repattern your strength and your muscle when you're aware of it and you see the range that you have to bring your muscle through. And that's good, and that's really good, trying to learn what your body is doing differently when you're going from your left to your right.
Right. And additionally, it's like no matter where you are in your fitness journey, no matter if you're like an athlete or like, they're still challenging.
Absolutely. It's like I said with the YTWLs, those are extremely lightweight, where you're doing it with no weight or with little weight. It's always good to have that marker of stability, because as you're getting stronger in your main prime movers, your stability muscles need to be able to compensate and catch up with that too. I'm going to raise my garage a little bit just so I don't have so much backlight.
Okay.
I mean, woo. Give me a chance to cool down. Oh yeah. Hopefully that's better. Starting to warm up. All right. Now we're going to get into our legs. We're going to do, I believe it's lateral lunges.
Am I looking at the wrong week?
No, I corrected it, but it didn't, I don't think it did it. If you go to the actual sheets, it's lateral lunges and then hip extensions.
We're still on two?
I don't know why sometimes it doesn't correct it. Oh, Velcro.
Wait, did you put it on week 2, day 3?
Week 3.
Oh, you put it on week 3. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Since I've been doing workouts with my cousin, it's been nice to use that sheet. So he's been taking up day 3s. Whew. It's fun to jump into somebody else's like style workout and to see like what they've been demanding of their system and what challenges they like to try to work through in their workouts. But whew. So
are you doing lateral lunges or forward lunges?
Lunges, and I have the weight vest on again. But if you have, kettlebell or single weight, you'll just be holding it in the middle and dropping back. That'll be a little too much for me right now with my legs being fatigued. Or if you're just doing these body weight, that's great too. We're going to do
16 to 20 of them.
16 to 20. If you're not using any weight, go higher up in reps. Getting a little push off of this right leg right now.
Right, yeah. So for these side lunges, the leg that is stepping out is the one doing most of the work. So you really want to focus on squeezing the glute as you push away. And you're hinging at the hips backwards, so your torso is going to come kind of forward. Yeah, there you go. Maintaining a neutral spine. And these are actually a pretty taxing exercise, so you can definitely do these body weight and still feel it. I would just suggest going 8 to 10 on one leg and then 8 to 10 on the other instead of alternating.
All right. And then we'll be going into hip extensions. Since I'm going to keep this on and not have to take it on and off, I'm going to do glute bridge style on my bench. But you can use a ball. Go like that. So I'm not having to take off my weight vest every round. Ooh.
Yeah, so feet elevated glute bridges. These are actually really good. If you have the ability to put your feet on like a couch or something like that, what you're going to be able to do is increase your range of motion. So for some of you, you might feel this in your glutes more. And also for this movement, you're pushing your knees out. That'll help you engage the glutes.
To add a little bit more challenge, you can always add the band around your knee, and at the top, really be squeezing your knee out at the top, because then that's engaging your glutes even more up.
So those are the two exercises that we're working with for 2 to 3 rounds. If you are more advanced or you don't have weights, I would go 4 rounds and higher rep range.
We got a few more seconds, and we'll go back to lateral lunges. If you want to be going back and forth for 16 consecutive, that's fine. I like to do same side and just get it over with.
Yeah, so hinging at your hips for this movement, you really want to make sure that your knee is tracking in the same direction as your toes, so it's not caving in or going too far outwards.
So that's definitely finding that happy medium with the width that you're stepping. You don't want to overreach, because then your toe or your knee can't track over your toe if you're really, really wide. If you're really, really wide, your knee can't go right over your toe. So it's finding that happy medium where everything can be in line.
Right.
Whew. Go this way. And then getting that nice pop. Just come up.
Use those glutes, you guys, for this movement. Really think about contracting them.
All right.
Back into hip extensions for glute bridges. You can do these on the floor. You can elevate your feet. You can do a single leg option.
It's hard getting up and down with this vest on. Really.
You're driving the hips up, squeezing the glutes, abducting the knees, so pushing them outwards. And yeah, if you do have a band, you would want to place them right above your knees.
If you want more of a challenge, you could also go single leg.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been definitely doing a lot of quad, glute stuff this whole week. So I want a nice condition, getting still through the movement, not loading a ton, still getting the benefits, stretch and range of motion. So always be listening to what your body needs, finding those times when you can push it, when you should pull back a little bit, because that prevents injury. It's a happy balance. Couple more seconds. We'll get into lateral lunges, then we'll be done with that. It's so dirty. Touching the. Do you like my plyo box? I'm so excited about it. Whew. That was Toyota was pretty awesome and gave their athletes some Amazon gift cards, and the plyo box is what I got. Pretty excited.
Oh, yeah, those things are sweet.
And it's really solid too. You know, when you're not getting to actually jump on it, it's really hard to buy something online and be like, oh, this is solid. This will definitely hold my weight and other weight I'm adding. But yeah, it's great. It's solid. Recommend. And it's going to be a nice little table if I'm tinkering in the garage. All right, lateral lunges. Here we go, peeps.
Make sure you're using those glutes. You want to get as deep into this lunge as you can.
right, other side.
And you want to do 8 to 10 on each leg.
All right, I'm done with the vest. I'll slip that off before finishing my last set of glute bridges. It's officially Friday now. The vest is off. Oh, oh my God. It's never fun.
Back into hip thrusts or glute bridges. The single leg option is definitely more challenging, but it's still, you want to perform the movement the same, pushing the knee outwards and really driving the glutes up, squeezing out the top. And you should get 10 to 15 on each side.
Woohoo! Right.
All right. So we are going to move on then, and our next set of exercises are going to be push-ups and overhead shoulder press. We'll be doing.
So I was talking to Cerise, and we're definitely having some trouble coming up with some ulterior pushing and pulling exercises, just having limited equipment. So we're definitely trying to switch things up and be creative. So it's definitely good to be trying to get more pull exercises. We definitely know that those can be challenging. So we'll give some variations a little bit later. Did we have a row in this? We could change it since we're doing push-up and a press. We could do a row and a press if you think that that's better, Reese.
Yeah, we could do.
Who wants to do push-ups? Throw some hearts. If you want to do a row instead, give a thumbs up.
Let's do, yeah. Let's do rows instead of push-ups, and then overhead press.
Okay. And I'm going to be using a bungee, but remember, we could also be using the band and looping it under your foot and rowing back. If you have a bungee, you can loop it under your feet, widen your stance to help make the tension more, and make sure you're pulling your shoulders down and back while keeping your spine neutral. Or if you want to sit down and not have any load on your lower back, but keeping your upper back nice and straight, looping around your toes. So I'll help you get a nice little hamstring stretch too. But coming all the way through, crushing that white claw on the back. Crush you can. But
Crush that white claw.
it's a skinnier can, so it's just more pinching has to happen, or a kettlebell row.
Mm-hmm. For these rows, let's also get 10 to 15 on each side.
Okay. Now that we've finished, or getting close to finishing that first row set, picking your variation, the next will be an overhead press. I'm going to rack my kettlebell, keeping my elbow close and tracking straight up. You see my grip on the kettlebell. It's nice and tight. It's not going to be flopping around. This also helps with shoulder stability because my muscles have to be, all my stabilizers have to be working as I'm pushing up. We'll see how I feel. I think 8 to 10 overhead presses. See how fatigued my shoulders are. If I only make it to 6, so be it.
Yeah, and then she's doing the half kneeling stance. So when you're doing a half kneeling stance or even standing, you'll be engaging more core. But yeah, you'll go opposite leg, opposite arm. The kettlebell is racked right outside your hand if you have a kettlebell, but you can also use a dumbbell, a can, whatever you have that can add an external load. And you're pressing up towards the sky. So when you're up at the top, you want all of your joints stacked, your wrist, your shoulder. It's all stacked.
And here would be a band variation.
Yeah,
and I'm just kneeling on it. I'm not using because there's a really, really long bungee, but I'm kneeling on it. Same thing. You could, then you can even do double leg at the same time. But my
opposite leg, opposite arm.
Like that. Too many apparatuses I'm trying to do. Whew. All right. Couple of seconds rest. We'll start to the top again with a row, either using the small round bungees or round bands that we've been using for our leg warm-ups, or the bungee. If you don't have one of these things, maybe that's your homework for this weekend. Maybe get it on Enzon, or see if any of your local gyms that are shutting down are selling any of their apparatuses, which is, unfortunate, but we got to stay active and healthy at home, so we're trying to figure out the best thing to do. And this can give you some diversity. Also, if you have a TRX, you could definitely be doing those pulls and pushes in a suspended, more challenging environment. I actually just got one, so I'm pretty excited to start messing around with that. All right, back into rows.
Yeah, also, I've found pull-up bars for like less than $20. So if you're able to get a pull-up bar, then we can actually do a lot with that, and you can mimic a vertical pulling motion, because right now the rows that we're doing are horizontal pulling, and ideally you would want to be able to do both a horizontal and a vertical pull. So Lindsey since she has her TRX, once she sets it up, we'll kind of show you some options for vertical pulls.
Woo. And you can also get one of those big, big bands if you're trying to get better at pull-ups. Which pull-ups have always been challenging for me. If you get one of those from the ceiling, you could be looping this around, having that hang, looping your knee, and using that as a little assistance. If you don't have a workout partner, which I don't, I'm solo. This is day 30 for me, I think. I've been in quarantine/isolation for a month. I think yesterday I was going a little crazy.
Yeah, I just kind of stopped trying to keep track like that, because I would just think about it more. I'm like, we're just gonna take it day by day. That's how I've been getting.
I wasn't truly thinking of it, but I was just sitting there working on the computer, all of a sudden bursting into laughter, like uncontrollably, like having a good time with myself. And I was like, what is going on? Talking to friends, they're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. They're like, how long have you been isolated? I'm like, good question. And I was like, almost 30 days. And I was like, maybe that's what's happening.
The memes about like introverts not really suffering from isolation because they're already that way. I've been dying over those.
I consider myself an introvert sometimes, but every now and then I like to let my hair get down and go do something fun. But I feel like I've been very productive and busy around the house. It's definitely catching up to me. Couple seconds. We'll go through that again. Woohoo! Look at all the people joining. Hope you guys are having fun. We'll be continuing these workouts throughout the week. Fortis is giving free workout classes for the whole month of April. So they've got crazy things all week happening. They've got boot camps, all body exercises, yoga classes, you name it. If you go to their site, chances are they're live at that moment. They're probably, what's the reason is Instagram live is shutting down. It's because they're always live.
Is it shutting down? Is that a thing?
It skips in the afternoon. I think there's just a very high demand for it. Back into rows.
Yeah, so back to the rows. There's a lot of variations of rows, but the one she's doing, she's keeping, or that Lindsey is doing, she's keeping her elbows close to her side, and you're thinking about pinching your back doing this movement, really squeezing your arm and your back together.
You can also do, if you have a bench or on the side of the couch, I can, having most of my weight, all of my weight on my left arm right now, having to just stabilize and use some of my rotator cuff muscles. And also this row works as well. And it just incorporates a little bit more shoulder stability on the left while you're actively working the right. Back into presses. Last round of these, guys. Let's go. Breathing. And I have 8. That's my winner today.
You what?
I only have 8. Not making it to 10.
Sometimes it's that way. Listen to your body.
And it's a balance. It's not, I'm listening to it because it's hard, I don't want to do it. If I kept going, the actual mobility and movement of the proper way to do that workout would be compromised. So I don't want to do it incorrectly because I am fatiguing. So definitely found out that 8 was my max today. I could easily have dropped down on weight, finished it with a band, or knew that last one I should just maybe do with the band. So it's not that I'm feeling tired, I'm stopping. It's just trying to listen to what my body is telling me. So just don't be quitting, just find maybe an easier solution, go down, maybe just less reps, but don't skip the whole round completely. We just finished with that round. Now we'll be going to what's next, Reese?
So next we have, back extensions and upper ab crunch. Yeah, so there's definitely a difference between, obviously you need to be pushing yourself, but you need to know when to stop if your form's being compromised, because if that's the case, then there's a risk for injury you also want to avoid. That doesn't mean you don't push yourself. So you kind of have to be able to differentiate that if you're doing this alone.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say, but I was a little out of breath and not coming together.
You're like, words are hard.
Next one, we're doing back extensions. You can do these on the ball. However, today I'm going to do them on the ground because I want to not only be activating my glutes and lower back to pull my chest off, I want to externally rotate when I'm on the ground and give my pecs a little bit of a stretch. Since we have been doing a lot of rows, we have been doing a lot of upper body exercises, I've been feeling tight in my pec major. So I'm going to kind of just blend this in with being on the ground. And I'll hold for 30 seconds if you don't mind, Reese.
Got you. 3, 2, 1.
Roll out. Externally rolling out. So my thumbs now are pointing up, but as far back towards the back wall behind me.
Right, reaching behind you. You're squeezing pretty much everything on the back side of you to perform this. Yeah, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Woo! And since we just did the posterior chain, why not do the anterior chain? Now I'm going to go into curls on the ball. I'm adding a little bit of weight I'm using the ball that way I can get a little bit more extension and finish the curl. So I'm going to do 20 of these.
So yeah, posterior chain, if you hear us refer to that, that just means essentially the back side of you. So that's like back and glutes, hamstrings, calves. And then the ball will give you extra range of motion, but you can definitely perform this on the floor. Just focus on bringing your shoulder blades up off the ground, keeping your chin tucked.
All right, first round is done. Woo. We'll be going back. Let those muscles relax for a little bit. So we've got 2 more rounds of that. And then we'll have 1 more superset. So hang in there. We're almost done. It's Friday, people. Might not matter to some people if they're at home already, but let's keep the Friday vibe live. Live and kicking. Woo. Whew. All right. 30 seconds, back extension holds. On your count, Reese.
3, 2, 1. So squeezing everything together, your shoulder blades, your glutes.
And I'm not trying to arch my chin up. I'm not trying to tuck it. I'm still keeping that neutral, but engaging glutes, making sure these are lifting off, and externally rotating my shoulders.
3, 2, 1.
Woo.
So 30-second holds for the back extensions, and then for your upper ab crunches, I would say get 15 to 20 repetitions. You can even go upwards of 30.
Yeah, depends on the style that you're doing them. If you need to tuck your feet under a couch to get some stability to help you go through that range a little bit better. If you're just flat on the ground, if you're on the ball, everything's going to be different, have different challenges if you have a weight. So see what your body needs to do, get to that burning point, try to do 5 more, and repeat.
Yeah, if you can add weight to this movement, that would be ideal, but you definitely will feel it in the abs even if you don't have weight. Just make it a higher rep range.
Woo. Oh, we're almost done. That's round 2 of that. We'll be going back into back extensions really quickly. Whew. And then the last 2, you'll get to be on the ground, lying on your back, doing some core. So as I said, we'll be getting easier and easier. Maybe not the movement, but as far as your positioning and the demand on the body. So stick with us. We're only 39 minutes into this. This isn't even an hour. You guys are killing it. Friday. Woo-hoo.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for the hearts. Hopefully you guys are having fun, getting active. I like the morning workouts. They help me wake up and help me get through any other activities of the day. It kind of motivates me and gets me moving faster. All right, back extensions on your count, please.
3, 2, 1. Back extension, squeezing everything on the posterior side of you or the back side of you, shoulder blades together. You're using your lower back, squeezing your glutes, squeezing everything.
Squeeze up a little bit higher in those last few seconds. Make sure you're not lifting up your chin. It's
3,
just
2, 1.
Oh. All right. Oh yeah.
Last round.
All right. Look at this baby. Instead of my beach wagon being utilized for beach toys, it's got all my workout stuff. All right. Now we're going on our backs. We'll be doing penguins, which is a side-to-side movement for our obliques, and 6-inch leg lifts. So penguins will be doing 30 total, or shoot for 20. This is no weight, so let's just see where you guys can make it and make sure your form is not compromised. We want our shoulders off the mat, like so, and reaching with our hands to the outside of our legs.
Right, shoulder blades off the ground to help engage your core. And then you're essentially just doing a side bend, trying to touch the sides of your feet.
Earlier in the week, we did the weighted side bend standing up. This is kind of the same thing, a little less load, but still activating those muscles, making them work without that same intensity, building conditioning. Talk and do those at the same time. A few more seconds. We'll go into a 6-inch leg lift. So I'll give you some variation. You can just be putting your hands on the top of your hips and doing your alternating 6-inch leg lifts. And you can definitely feel the pressure right there that your transverse abdominals are working. If you have a little bit more control, you can have your knees bent and just a couple inches off the mat. Make sure your back is not arching. You want it flat because your core is engaged. You're pulling down towards the mat. And then more advanced with straight legs. Trying to keep your head relaxed on the mat. You're engaging your hiney, your core. 30 seconds. I hope you've been counting, Reese.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so think about pushing your lower back into the floor when you're doing this movement. You can actually tuck the chin as well, like Lindsey just adjusted there. 10 seconds. You're squeezing everything. 3, 2, 1.
This is the last round of exercises, so we only have 2 left. Let's finish strong. Take a little second, have some water. Reese, you have not been reminding me to drink water. I have to remember this.
You know what? I haven't been drinking any water either. We're in the same boat. Grab your water.
It's Friday, people. Let's do this. We're almost done. Congrats to everyone that's still working out right now. Help motivate friends and family to join along. It's good family.
Yeah, let them know.
It's social distancing fun. Back to the penguins.
Tucking the chin, bringing the shoulder blades off the ground. You're doing side crunches, essentially.
Put me to 30, and I'm counting every time I'm touching my right side. Pulling the knees into the chest, giving a little bit of a rock back and forth will help relieve some of that tension in the abs. On your couch.
That's also a really good stretch for your lumbar spine, which is just the lower back.
All right, on your count, 6-inch leg lifts. Remember those variations. We've got the steps, we've got the bent knee holds, and then the straight leg holds.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Halfway there. You can keep the in touch for this movement. 3, 2, and 1.
I don't know about you guys, but that second round was a little easier. Maybe your just muscles were. That happens to me a lot. My muscles get used to the demand, so I know that first round can struggle and sting sometimes. But try to challenge yourself to get to that next one, because your muscles are now waking up and figuring out what your body is demanding of it, and it gets easier. So that being said, one more round in this, and we are done. And you can get on with the rest of your Friday. Fortis is giving 3 workouts for the whole month of April, so give them a follow. Reese is one of the trainers there. You could be following her. She's doing a lot of activities as well. They have all body, they have core workouts, they've got boot camps, they've got yoga. So they have something for everyone, whether you're wanting an intense workout, a recovery, just relaxation, meditation, breathing, that's all there. So without further ado, back to side bends.
Last round, let's go.
Hang in there, people.
You got this.
How many minutes are we in? I still think we're under an hour.
Yeah, we're at 48 minutes in.
Wow, so we've definitely covered a lot in less than an hour, and that was definitely with me like chatting away. So know that it doesn't take too much time out of the day to get a great workout in, whether you're working different muscle groups or doing a whole body.
And if Lindsay's getting sore from these workouts, then I know you guys are too.
Definitely sore. I'm having an all body overall sore, so I'm definitely going to be taking this weekend to do some stretching, try not to do a lot of manual labor around the house, and really make sure I'm eating properly after my workouts and getting good recovery. So therefore, more proteins after a workout than carbs. But you definitely need carbs to help sustain energy. Woo. All right. Reese, on your count.
All right, we are doing leg lifts in 3, 2, 1.
30 seconds. Last 30 seconds.
Last 30 seconds, you guys.
Finish out strong.
Three, 2, and 1.
Awesome, everyone. Super proud of you. Reese, thank you again so much for taking us through that safely and accurately. I appreciate it. I always learn a lot when I'm working with you guys. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here with Fortis and Reese. Reese was taking me through that workout and telling everyone how to do the movements properly, making sure that they're aware of what's happening with their body. That's always the best thing, to try to learn your body while you're working out. You're going to get the best overall performance and figure out what your body needs. Right now, my body needs some food after a workout, so I'm going to routine up. So thank you, Fortis, and thank you, Reese.
You're welcome.
Check them out online. They're doing live classes all April. So I hope you guys had fun. Stay tuned for next week. Hopefully we have something new and exciting for you. Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye, Reese.
Bye. See ya.